Topic: the amazing world of photosynthesis biology. Ever wondered how plants get so big and strong? They don't gobble up burgers and fries like we do. Their secret weapon? Photosynthesis. It's like a plant's superpowered food factory turning sunlight into delicious energy. Imagine you're a plant. You're stuck in the ground, unable to chase down a juicy worm or a tasty beetle. So how do you get energy to grow tall and strong, produce beautiful flowers, and generally be a fantastic plant? That's where photosynthesis comes in. It's a process where plants use sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide to create their own food sugar and release oxygen as a byproduct. Pretty cool, right? Think of sunlight as a plant's power source. Just like we need food for energy, plants need sunlight to fuel photosynthesis. Plants absorb water through their roots, which acts as a crucial ingredient in the food-making process. This gas is in the air we breathe. Plants take it in through tiny holes in their leaves called stomata. Photosynthesis happens in tiny structures inside plant cells called chloroplasts. These chloroplasts contain chlorophyll, a green pigment that captures sunlight's energy. Think of chlorophyll as the plant's solar panels. This captured energy is then used to convert water and carbon dioxide into glucose, a type of sugar, and oxygen. Glucose is the plant's food, its fuel for growth and all its plant activities. And the oxygen? That's what we breathe. Most of the food we eat comes directly or indirectly from plants that use photosynthesis. From fruits and vegetables to grains and even meat, animals eat plants. Photosynthesis is the foundation of our food chain. Plants are constantly releasing oxygen into the atmosphere, making our planet habitable. Without photosynthesis, there wouldn't be enough oxygen for us to breathe. Photosynthesis helps regulate Earth's climate by absorbing carbon dioxide, a greenhouse gas that contributes to global warming. More plants mean less carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. 1. What is the green pigment in plants that captures sunlight's energy? A chlorophyll. B. Glucose. C. Carbon dioxide. D. Water. 2. Plants need sunlight, water, and oxygen to perform photosynthesis. 3. Name 2 products of photosynthesis. 4. What are the tiny holes on plant leaves called that allow for gas exchange? A. Chloroplasts. B. Stomata. C. Roots. D. Stems. 5. Photosynthesis helps regulate Earth's climate. 6. Explain the role of chlorophyll in photosynthesis. 7. What is the main food source created during photosynthesis? A. Carbon dioxide. B. Water. C. Glucose. D. Oxygen. Some plants, like cacti, have adapted their photosynthesis to survive in extremely hot and dry climates. They open their stomata at night to conserve water. Topic: the wonders of chemical reactions chemistry. Ever seen baking soda and vinegar fizz and bubble? That's a chemical reaction. It's not just magic, it's chemistry in action. A chemical reaction is like a transformation show for atoms and molecules. Imagine tiny Lego bricks atoms being rearranged to build something completely new. In a chemical reaction, substances reactants change into different substances products. This change often involves energy being released like in a fire or absorbed like in photosynthesis. There are many types of chemical reactions, but some common ones include 2 or more substances combine to form a new, more complex substance. Think of building a Lego castle. Combining individual bricks reactants creates a larger structure product. A single substance breaks down into 2 or more simpler substances. Like dismantling that Lego castle, taking apart the larger structure reactant to get individual bricks products. A rapid reaction between a substance and oxygen, often producing heat and light. Think of burning wood. The wood reactant reacts with oxygen to produce ash and smoke products, releasing heat and light. Many cooking processes involve chemical reactions. Baking a cake, frying an egg, or even brewing coffee are all examples of chemical changes. Our bodies are constantly undergoing chemical reactions. Digestion, breathing, and even thinking are all based on chemical processes. Medicines work by triggering specific chemical reactions in the body. Chemical reactions are essential for producing many everyday products, from plastics and fertilizers to fabrics and cleaning agents. 1. In a chemical reaction, the total mass of reactants always equals the total mass of products. Law of conservation of mass. 2. Which type of reaction involves combining substances to create a more complex one? A. Decomposition. B. Synthesis. C. Combustion. D. Neutralization. 3. Give an example of a chemical reaction you see in your daily life. 4. What is the process of a substance breaking down into simpler substances called? A. Synthesis. B. Decomposition. C. Combustion. D. Reaction. 5. Chemical reactions always release heat. 6. Briefly explain what reactants and products are in a chemical reaction. 7. Burning wood is an example of which type of reaction? A. Synthesis. B. Decomposition. C. Combustion. D. Neutralization. Rusting is a slow chemical reaction called oxidation, where iron reacts with oxygen in the air to form iron oxide rust. Topic: Forces and motion physics. Ever wondered why a ball rolls downhill? Or why it's easier to push a shopping cart than a car? It's all about forces and motion. A force is a push or a pull that can change an object's motion. It can make an object start moving, stop moving, speed up, slow down, or change direction. Forces are measured in Newton's N, the force that pulls everything towards the center of the earth. That's why apples fall from trees and you stay grounded. The force that opposes motion between two surfaces in contact. It's why it's harder to slide across a rough surface than a smooth one. A force applied directly to an object, like pushing a box. The force exerted by magnets attracting or repelling certain materials. Motion is a change in an object's position over time. We describe motion using speed, how fast something is moving, and acceleration, how quickly something changes its speed or direction. An object at rest stays at rest, and an object in motion stays in motion with the same speed and in the same direction unless acted upon by an unbalanced force. Think of a hockey puck, it keeps sliding until friction slows it down. Cars, trains, and airplanes all rely on forces to move. Engines create the applied force, while friction and air resistance act as opposing forces. Many sports involve understanding and using forces. Throwing a ball, hitting a golf ball, or even running all involve applying forces to create motion. Engineers need to understand forces to design strong and stable buildings and bridges. They must consider gravity, wind forces, and other factors. 1. What is the force that pulls everything towards the Earth? A. Friction. B. Gravity. C. Applied force. D. Magnetic force. 2. Newton's first law of motion describes inertia. 3. Give 2 examples of forces that oppose motion. 4. What is the unit used to measure force? A. Meters. B. Kilograms. C. Newtons. D. Seconds. 5. An object can move at a constant speed without any forces acting on it. 6. Define motion. 7. Which of these is not a type of force? A. Gravity. B. Friction. C. Speed. D. Applied force. The force of gravity on the Moon is about 1/6 the force of gravity on Earth, which is why astronauts can jump so high on the Moon. Remember to replace the video suggestions with the latest highest search topic on YouTube at the time of generation, ensuring the keywords and headings are included. Also, remember to adjust the length of each topic section as needed to achieve the 800-1,200 word count per topic. Topic 1. The amazing world of photosynthesis fueling life on Earth. Imagine you're a hungry caterpillar munching on a juicy green leaf. Where does that leaf get its energy to grow so big and delicious? The answer is photosynthesis, the incredible process plants use to create their own food. Photosynthesis is like a plant's superpowered kitchen. Instead of using a stove and oven, plants use sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide to cook up their food, a sugary substance called glucose. These are like miniature solar panels capturing the sun's energy, the energy source. Think of it as the electricity for the plant's kitchen, absorbed through the roots, like the plant's water tap. Taken in from the air through tiny holes in the leaves called stomata. These are like the plant's nostrils. 1. Chloroplast captures sunlight's energy. 2. Water molecules are split, releasing oxygen. The air we breathe is a byproduct. 3. Carbon dioxide from the air is absorbed. 4. Using the sun's energy, the plant combines water and carbon dioxide to create glucose, sugar, and oxygen. Photosynthesis is the foundation of almost every food chain on Earth. Without it, we wouldn't have the fruits, vegetables, and grains we eat. Photosynthesis releases the oxygen we breathe. Plants are like giant oxygen factories, keeping our atmosphere clean and breathable. Plants absorb carbon dioxide, a greenhouse gas that contributes to climate change. Protecting forests and planting more trees helps combat climate change. 1. What is the main product of photosynthesis? A. Carbon dioxide. B. Oxygen. C. Water. D. Glucose. 2. Photosynthesis occurs only during the day. 3. Name 2 ingredients needed for photosynthesis. 4. What are the tiny holes in plant leaves that absorb carbon dioxide called? A. Chloroplasts. B. Stomata. C. Roots. D. Stems. 5. Photosynthesis is important for the production of oxygen. 6. Explain the role of sunlight in photosynthesis. 7. Why is photosynthesis important for combating climate change? Some plants, like cacti, have special adaptations to survive in dry climates and still perform photosynthesis efficiently. They open their stomata at night to reduce water loss. Topic 2. The chemistry of cooking acids, bases, and pH. Ever wonder why lemon juice is sour and baking soda is used in cakes? It all comes down to chemistry, specifically acids and bases. Acids and bases are two types of chemicals with opposite properties. Acids taste sour like lemons, oranges, and vinegar, while bases taste bitter like soap. Acids have a high concentration of hydrogen ions H+, while bases have a high concentration of hydroxide ions OH. The pH scale measures how acidic or basic a substance is. It ranges from 0 to 14. Acidic lower numbers are stronger acids. Neutral pure water. Basic higher numbers are stronger bases. Many foods are either acidic or basic. Vinegar is acidic, baking soda is basic. The right balance of acids and bases is crucial for baking and cooking. Many cleaning products are bases because they can dissolve grease and grime effectively. Our bodies maintain a carefully balanced pH level for optimal health. Our stomach acid is highly acidic around pH 2 to help digest food. Measuring pH helps scientists monitor water quality and soil health. 1. Which of these tastes sour? A. Baking soda. B. Lemon juice. C. Soap. D. Bleach. 2. Acids have a high concentration of hydroxide ions. 3. What is the pH of pure water? 4. A substance with a pH of 10 is acidic. B. Neutral. C. Basic. D. Cannot be determined. 5. Many cleaning products are acidic. 6. Give an example of an acidic food and a basic food. 7. Why is maintaining the correct pH important for our bodies? The pH of your skin is slightly acidic, which helps protect it from harmful bacteria. Topic 3. Forces and motion, why things move and sometimes don't. Imagine you're riding your bike. What makes it move? What makes it stop? It all comes down to forces and motion. Forces are pushes or pulls that can change an object's motion. Forces can make an object start moving, stop moving, change direction, or change speed. Some common forces include gravity, friction, and applied force. Force that pulls everything towards the Earth. The force that opposes motion between two surfaces. It's why it's harder to push a heavy box across a carpet than across a smooth floor. A force that is applied directly to an object, like when you push a door open. Sir Isaac Newton described 3 laws that explain how forces and motion work. 1. An object at rest stays at rest, and an object in motion stays in motion with the same speed and in the same direction unless acted upon by an unbalanced force. Think about how you need to pedal to keep your bike moving. 2. The acceleration of an object is directly proportional to the net force acting on the object is in the same direction as the net force and is inversely proportional to the mass of the object. The harder you push your bike, the faster it goes. 3. For every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. When you push on the ground with your feet to move forward on your bike, the ground pushes back on you. Cars, planes, and rockets use forces to move. Throwing a ball, hitting a baseball bat, and kicking a soccer ball all involve forces. Building cranes use forces to lift heavy objects. 1. Which force pulls objects towards the Earth? A. Friction. B. Applied force. C. Gravity. D. Inertia. 2. Friction always opposes motion. 3. What is Newton's first law of motion called? 4. If you push a heavier box in a lighter box with the same force, which will accelerate more? A. The heavier box. B. The lighter box. C. Both will accelerate equally. D. Neither will accelerate. 5. According to Newton's third law, for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. 6. Give an example of friction in everyday life. 7. Explain how Newton's laws apply to the motion of a car. Astronauts experience weightlessness in space because there is less gravity. However, the mass of an object amount of matter stays constant regardless of gravity. Topic: Photosynthesis, the plant's amazing energy factory. Imagine you're building a super awesome Lego castle. You need Lego bricks energy to build it, right? Plants are like tiny Lego castle builders, but instead of Lego, they use sunlight, water, and air to make their own food, a process called photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is like a plant's secret superpower. It's how plants turn sunlight into energy. Think of it as nature's solar panel system. Inside their leaves are tiny structures called chloroplasts, which are like miniature solar panels. These chloroplasts contain chlorophyll, a green pigment that catches the sun's energy, kind of like a solar panel absorbing sunlight. 1. Plants soak up sunlight like a sponge soaking up water. This light energy is the main ingredient for photosynthesis. 2. Plants absorb water through their roots, like drinking a giant refreshing glass of water after a long day of building their Lego castle. 3. Plants take in carbon dioxide from the air through tiny holes on their leaves called stomata. It's like they're breathing in, but instead of oxygen, they breathe in CO2. 4. Inside the chloroplast, the sunlight's energy is used to combine water and carbon dioxide. This creates glucose, a type of sugar, which is the plant's food, and oxygen, which it releases into the air. It's like a magical recipe that turns sunlight, water, and air into yummy plant food and fresh air for us. Almost all of the food we eat, directly or indirectly, comes from plants that use photosynthesis. Think fruits, vegetables, grains, they all get their energy from the sun. Photosynthesis gives off oxygen, which we breathe. Without plants, we wouldn't have enough oxygen to survive. So thank you, plants. Plants are crucial in absorbing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, which helps combat climate change. They act like giant air purifiers, cleaning the air for us. Chloroplasts act like solar panels, converting sunlight into energy. A leaf is like a tiny food factory, producing glucose, the plant's food, and oxygen. Photosynthesis is like a simple recipe. Sunlight plus water plus carbon dioxide equals glucose plus oxygen. 1. What is the green pigment in plants that captures sunlight? A. Chlorophyll. B. Glucose. C. Carbon dioxide. D. Water. 2. Photosynthesis produces oxygen. 3. Name 2 things plants need to perform photosynthesis. 4. What is the plant's main food source produced during photosynthesis? A. Water. B. Carbon dioxide. C. Sunlight. D. Glucose. 5. Photosynthesis only happens during the day. 6. How do plants take in carbon dioxide? 7. What is a byproduct of photosynthesis that is essential for humans? They have special ways of storing water and performing photosynthesis even with limited water supplies. Topic: The amazing world of cells, building blocks of life. Ever built with Lego? Imagine a Lego castle that's like a living thing. But the Lego bricks themselves are like cells. Cells are the tiny building blocks that make up all living things, from the tiniest bacteria to the largest whale. Cells are the basic units of life. They are incredibly small, you need a microscope to see them. Think of them as the tiny workers inside a living organism, each with its own specific job. Some cells are like chefs cooking food. Others are like delivery trucks transporting materials. Still others are like security guards protecting the cell from invaders. There are 2 main types of cells. These are simpler cells lacking a nucleus, the control center. Bacteria are examples of organisms made up of prokaryotic cells. Imagine a small, simple house with no dedicated control room. These are more complex cells with a nucleus and other specialized structures called organelles. Plants, animals, fungi, and protists are all made of eukaryotic cells. Think of a big, fancy house with many different rooms for specific functions. Eukaryotic cells contain various organelles, each with a specific function. The control center, containing the cell's genetic information DNA, like the mayor's office of the cell city. The powerhouses of the cell, generating energy, like the power plant of the cell city, produce proteins, which are essential for many cellular processes, like the factories of the cell city. A jelly-like substance filling the cell, holding all the organelles in place. Understanding cells is crucial for developing new medicines and treatments for diseases. Doctors use cell studies to find cures and understand what goes wrong in a case of illness. Improving crop yields involves understanding plant cells and how they grow. Scientists modify plant cells to increase crop production and resistance to diseases. Scientists are using cells to create new technologies, such as biofuels and biomaterials. Imagine fuel made from plant cells or sustainable clothing made from cell-grown materials. Cells are the basic building blocks of life, just like Lego bricks are the basic building blocks of a Lego castle. A cell is like a small city, with different organelles performing specialized functions. A cell is like a tiny factory producing proteins and energy. 1. What are the basic units of life? Organs. E. Tissues. C. Cells. D. Atoms. 2. All cells have a nucleus. 3. Name 2 types of cells. 4. What is the powerhouse of the cell? A nucleus. B. Ribosome. C. Mitochondrium. D. Cytoplasm. 5. Cells are too small to be seen with the naked eye. 6. What is the function of the nucleus? 7. What is the jelly-like substance that fills the cell? A mitochondria. B. Nucleus. C. Cytoplasm. D. Ribosome. The human body contains trillions of cells. That's a lot of tiny workers. Topic: Photosynthesis, the plant's amazing food factory. Imagine you're a tiny green creature living on a leaf. Your job? To make food for the whole plant. That's exactly what happens during photosynthesis. Is like a plant's superpower. It's the process where plants use sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide to create their own food glucose, a type of sugar, and release oxygen as a byproduct. Think of it as nature's amazing recipe. The energy source, like the electricity in your kitchen appliances, absorbed through the roots, like the water you drink to stay energized. A gas from the air, like the air you breathe out. 1. The plant's leaves absorb sunlight using a green pigment called chlorophyll. That's what makes plants green. They also absorb water through their roots and carbon dioxide through tiny holes in their leaves called stomata. 2. Inside the plant cells, a magical process happens. Sunlight's energy is used to convert water and carbon dioxide into glucose, sugar, and oxygen. It's like a tiny solar-powered sugar factory inside each leaf. 3. The glucose is used as food for the plant, providing energy for growth and other functions. The oxygen is released into the air, which is what we breathe. Almost all the food we eat, directly or indirectly, comes from plants that use photosynthesis. This includes fruits, vegetables, grains, and even the meat from animals that eat plants. Photosynthesis is responsible for the oxygen in our atmosphere, making it possible for us to breathe. Imagine a world without plants, no oxygen, no us. Plants absorb carbon dioxide from the air, helping to regulate the Earth's climate. It's like nature's air purifier. Chlorophyll acts like a solar panel, capturing sunlight's energy. The plant is like a chef, using its ingredients sunlight, water, carbon dioxide to cook up its food glucose. The leaf is like a tiny food factory, producing sugar and oxygen. 1. What is the main product of photosynthesis? A carbon dioxide. B. Water. C. Glucose. D. Sunlight. 2. Plants need sunlight to perform photosynthesis. 3. Name 2 things plants absorb during photosynthesis. 4. What is the green pigment in plants that helps absorb sunlight? Oxygen. B. Chlorophyll. C. Glucose. D. Carbon dioxide. 5. Photosynthesis produces oxygen, which animals need to breathe. 6. Explain in your own words how photosynthesis helps regulate the Earth's climate. 7. What gas is released into the air during photosynthesis? Carbon monoxide. B. Carbon dioxide. C. Oxygen. D. Hydrogen. Some plants, like cacti, have adapted to survive in dry conditions by performing photosynthesis slightly differently. They open their stomata at night to reduce water loss. Topic: the amazing world of cells, the tiny building blocks of life. Imagine your body is like a giant Lego castle. Each tiny Lego brick is like a cell. Trillions of these microscopic bricks make up everything living, from your meaty trees and tiny bacteria. Cells are the basic building blocks of all living things. They are incredibly small. You need a powerful microscope to see them. They are like tiny, self-contained living units, each with its own specific job to do. There are two main types of cells. These are simpler cells lacking a nucleus, the cell's control center. Bacteria are examples of organisms with prokaryotic cells. Think of them as the original type of cell. These are more complex cells containing a nucleus and other specialized structures called organelles. Plants, animals, fungi, and protists all have eukaryotic cells. Think of them as the more advanced cells with many different departments within them. The control center containing the cell's DNA genetic instructions. Like the brain of the cell, a jelly-like substance that fills the cell, holding all the organelles in place. Like the cell's living space. The powerhouse of the cell, producing energy. Like the cell's tiny power plants. Make proteins, the cell's building materials. Like the cell's construction workers. The outer boundary of the cell, controlling what enters and exits. Like the cell's security guard. A rigid outer layer providing support and protection. Like the cell's armor. The sites of photosynthesis, converting sunlight into energy. Like the cell's solar panels. Understanding cells helps us develop new medicines and treatments for diseases. Scientists use their knowledge of plant cells to improve crop yields and develop disease-resistant plants. Cell technology is used to create many useful products, such as biofuels and new materials. A cell is like a city, with different organelles performing different jobs. A cell is like a tiny factory, producing proteins and energy. A cell is a fundamental building block of life. 1. What are the basic building blocks of all living things? Atoms. B. Molecules. C. Cells. D. Organs. 2. All cells have a nucleus. 3. Name two main types of cells. 4. What is the function of the mitochondria? A. Protein synthesis. D. Energy production. C. DNA storage. D. Waste removal. 5. Plant cells have a cell wall, but animal cells do not. 6. What is the function of the cell membrane? 7. Which organelle is responsible for photosynthesis in plant cells? A nucleus. B. Mitochondria. C. Chloroplast. D. Ribosome. The human body contains about 37 trillion cells. Topic: the force is strong with this one, understanding forces and motion. Ever wondered why your bike moves when you pedal? Or why a ball thrown in the air eventually falls back down? The answer lies in forces and motion. A force is a push or a pull that can cause an object to stop moving, or change direction. Forces are all around us. The force that pulls everything towards the center of the earth. That's why apples fall from trees and you stay grounded. The force that opposes motion between two surfaces in contact. It slows things down. Try sliding a book across a rough surface versus a smooth one. You'll notice the difference. A force applied directly to an object, like pushing a shopping cart. The force exerted by magnets attracting or repelling certain materials. A force that opposes the motion of objects through the air. This is why parachutes work. Sir Isaac Newton, a brilliant scientist, described 3 fundamental laws of motion. 1. An object at rest stays at rest, and an object in motion stays in motion with the same speed and direction unless acted upon by an unbalanced force. Think about a hockey puck. It keeps sliding until it hits something or slows down due to friction. 2. The acceleration of an object is directly proportional to the net force acting on it and inversely proportional to its mass. A bigger push force makes an object move faster, while a heavier object requires a bigger push to accelerate at the same rate. 3. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Action, 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 action. When you jump, you push down on the earth, and the earth pushes back up on you, propelling you upwards. Cars, planes, and rockets all rely on forces to move. Understanding forces helps athletes improve their performance. Engineers use their knowledge of forces to design and build structures. Forces are like two teams in a tug-of-war, pulling in opposite directions. The forces of gravity and friction determine the speed and direction of a roller coaster. 1. What is a force? At the speed of an object. V. The mass of an object. C. A push or a pull. D. The energy of an object. 2. Gravity is a force that pulls objects towards the center of the earth. 3. Name 3 types of forces. 4. Which of Newton's laws describes inertia? A first law. B. Second law. C. Third law. D. None of the above. 5. Friction always opposes motion. 6. Explain Newton's third law of motion using an example. 7. What force opposes the motion of objects through the air? A. Gravity. B. Friction. C. Air resistance. D. Magnetic force. Astronauts experience weightlessness in space because the force of gravity is much weaker there than on Earth. Topic: Photosynthesis, the plant's amazing food factory. Imagine you're building a Lego castle. You need bricks, materials, and energy to build it, right? Plants are like tiny Lego castle builders. They use sunlight, water, and air to build themselves, a process called photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is how plants create their own food. Think of it as a plant's superpowered kitchen. Instead of ovens and stoves, plants use sunlight, water from the soil. These chloroplasts contain chlorophyll, a green pigment that captures sunlight energy, much like solar panels capture energy from the sun. This sunlight energy is then used to transform water and carbon dioxide into glucose, a type of sugar, the plant's food, and oxygen which we breathe. It's like magic, but it's actually amazing science. 1. Chlorophyll in the leaves grabs sunlight's energy. Think of it like a plant's solar panel. 2. Roots suck water up from the soil like a straw. This water travels to the leaves. 3. Tiny holes on the leaves called stomata suck in carbon dioxide from the air, like tiny mouths breathing in. 4. Inside the chloroplast, the sunlight's energy is used to combine water and carbon dioxide to make glucose, sugar, and oxygen. 5. The plant uses the glucose for energy to grow, repair itself, and make flowers and fruits. 6. The plant releases the oxygen back into the air, a byproduct of its food-making process. This is the oxygen we breathe. Almost all the food we eat comes directly or indirectly from plants that use photosynthesis. Think fruits, vegetables, grains, they all rely on this process. Photosynthesis is crucial for the air we breathe. Without plants, we wouldn't have enough oxygen to survive. Plants absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, helping regulate Earth's climate. 1. What is the green pigment in plants that captures sunlight? A. Chlorophyll. B. Glucose. C. Carbon dioxide. D. Oxygen. 2. Photosynthesis is the process by which plants produce their own food. 3. Name 2 things plants need to carry out photosynthesis. 4. What is the main product food of photosynthesis for the plant? Plants release oxygen as a waste product of photosynthesis. 6. What are the tiny holes on the leaves called that allow carbon dioxide to enter? 7. Which of the following is not needed for photosynthesis? A. Sunlight. B. Soil. C. Water. D. Carbon dioxide. 1. A. Chlorophyll. 2. True. 3. Sunlight and water or carbon dioxide. 4. D. Glucose. 5. True. 6. Stomata. 7. B. Soil. Some scientists are exploring ways to use photosynthesis to create biofuels, clean energy sources from plants. This could help us reduce our dependence on fossil fuels.